What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and what you should be looking out for the future. I'm also going to be doing some in-depth technical analysis and talk about what the technicals are showing, and also this major news article as Tesla was just kicked out of the S&P 500. So I'm going to break down all of this and give you guys my price prediction for tomorrow based off this. I'm also going to be talking about what Elon Musk, the man, the myth, the legend Elon Musk said on his Twitter page. That's going to be very important for this, what his response was to this, and why this is going to be massive for Tesla for tomorrow and the near-term future. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about Elon Musk or Tesla or my price prediction, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is, as you know, I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free. This is a limited time offer. It ends in just 2 weeks, so please check it out before they run out of free stocks to give. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, we're down about 6.8% for the day. Now, this obviously has kind of caused some mixed views in the whole Tesla community because the NASDAQ, if you look at the NASDAQ, it's down 4.73%. Now, that could be an indicator that, yeah, okay, Tesla tends to have a beta of 2 or 3. Tesla could have been down 9%. We were only down 6.8%. Well, the truth is that's not how this necessarily works in my opinion, and I see a little bit more downside for Tesla based off what we just saw. So looking at Tesla, looking at the NASDAQ first. Let's first look at the NASDAQ before I talk about Tesla. So Tesla has a tendency of kind of tracking the NASDAQ. Look at this right here. We have this gap down here that started, we basically gapped up on the 13th of May, but we have this gap down here to $11,376. So 11,376. If we go all the way to today, real quick, you'll notice something very interesting. So we ended up dropping today pretty darn hard. Let me actually show you how hard we dropped. And we basically we had this gap that formed to the upside, which is an indicator that eventually we are going to recover. It's just that I don't necessarily think it's going to happen that quickly. It's going to take a little bit of time. And also for the gap to the downside, we haven't filled the gap just yet. Our low point was $11,381. We did not fill the gap yet for the NASDAQ. So that's an indicator. Tomorrow, the NASDAQ may end up filling this gap, and I do anticipate a little bit more downside before the NASDAQ finds a bounce, and I do think Tesla's going to follow it to some degree, but there is one issue that's going to cause a bigger divergence in my opinion. This means that Tesla's not going to run exactly like the rest of the market, and that's because of this major piece of news that just came out that's huge. CNBC reported why Tesla was kicked out of the S&P 500's ESG index. So going back to the ESG, you can see this right here. ESG Investing and Analysis. CFA Institute has been driving consideration of environmental, social, and governance factors in financial analysis. Now, this has been very important in the investment process, at least based off how they say it, but there is something that's it's very suspicious and it's very sad in my opinion. Tesla was kicked out of the S&P 500's ESG index. The main reason was because of their quote-unquote lack of low carbon strategy, codes of business conduct, along with, how should I say this, social issues and poor working conditions. So I don't know. In my opinion, I think there's a lot of gray area in these claims to be made about Tesla, but here's how I see it, okay? What I think is this. We could complain all we want. We could be sad. We know it's not necessarily fair. We know things don't always come out the way we want them to be. At the end of the day, it happened, and we have to move on and play our charts based off that. It's the end result. As of right now, it happened. There's going to be an opportunity cost of this. There's going to be some negative effects on Tesla. And Elon Musk also mentioned, or at least expressed his dismay towards this. So like I said, I'm not saying that this is true or false, by the way. I want to mention that. I didn't say that this is true or false. There's a lot of gray area. A lot of these claims could be exaggerated, so on and so forth. But I just want to say it's the end result. So we have to just move on and then understand how this will affect Tesla, because Elon Musk is not having it. He is not happy about this. Elon Musk stated on his Twitter page, Exxon is rated top 10 best in the world for environment, social, and governance ESG by the S&P 500, while Tesla didn't make it. He stated that the ESG was a scam. It has been weaponized by phony social justice warriors. He stated that the S&P global ratings has lost their integrity. This is actually, I think, the tweet right here. He stated that it's basically a scam in response to this, and they started just listing the top holders of the index, which no longer include, Tesla. And you could see, I'm sorry, Apple made it, Microsoft made it, Amazon made it, and we know there's controversy involved in these companies. Tesla didn't make it; they got kicked out. So hashtag poor Elon is trending. Uh, I think Tesla was trending too on Twitter. It's sad news. Elon Musk said that the ESG is a scam, basically shame on the S&P global ratings. Then Elon Musk also tweeted this: despite Tesla doing more for the environment than any other company, right? What is your ESG score? Obviously, it's very low. It's He's stating that there's an agenda behind it. And I don't want to get political with this, but I just want to put it out there that, yeah, I mean, there should be an ability to appeal, in my opinion. It is sad that this happened, and you could argue, right? You can make the argument that other companies are not held to the same standards that Tesla is being held to, because you're arguing that, oh, they have a lack of a low carbon strategy, but then ExxonMobil is there. So I don't know. I just think that it's a horrible thing that's happening for Tesla investors, and we have to just stop worrying too much about whether it's fair or not. I mean, for us, it's horrible, and we should put our more focus on what's going to happen now, and that's what I'm essentially doing in this video. Because horrible things will happen. There are very unfair agencies in the world, but at the end of the day, we have to see how this will affect the share price as a response to it. So looking at Tesla, if we keep dropping, we have support at around 701, maybe 700. Then 680 would be the next key level of support. Then we have resistance at 724 if we push up, 745 and 775. So overall, if you look at this from a technical perspective, the volume wasn't that great for Tesla. It was pretty average, not too great. On the RSI, look at this over the 2 hour candles right here. We're kind of closer to the oversold side. When it comes to the MACD, we're essentially dropping. We did see some divergence here, but overall, it's just on this downward trend. The MACD is on the verge of crossing with the 9-day moving average, which is a bearish indicator. Let me see what else is being shown right here. And you can see we're starting to test these low levels that we thought Tesla could have broken out of. It should have, but things like this will continue to happen. Based off the Bollinger, that's one standard deviation away from the basis line. We're trading in a very bearish pattern, and typically stocks get a nice bounce off this, but because of the news, I don't see it that way. I'm going to be honest with you. It's not looking good. The fact that they got kicked out of the S&P ESG index, I think what could happen is Tesla kind of gets rug pulled, and we're probably going to start dropping. I would expect us to drop below 700. I think a lot of shorts, institutions are going to take advantage of this moment, and they're going to try to push Tesla down. Now, what could happen is Tesla may drop to the 700, maybe a little bit lower, and we might get a slight reaction out of it because of the fact that the NASDAQ may end up doing that. But ultimately, I do see it dropping a little bit lower, and we want to see a nice bounce off 680. If we get that bounce, if we hold above it, that would be a good sign for Friday and next week. Hopefully, we continue to push. If we drop below that $680 level, there's going to be a lot of room for us to drop a little lower, and we could see this thing go as low as that 660 to 650 range. So just wanted to put that out there. What do I predict is going to happen? Let's pull up my polyline indicator. What could happen is, and because of the fact that the NASDAQ has some red, typically when we open, the market has this pattern where we push up. So Tesla might push up to about 720. Okay? And then we might get rejected quickly start dropping, and then we might, hold on, let me remove something here. We might push up and start dropping, and hopefully we hold 680. That's my hope. I really hope we hold it. We should be able to hold on. If not, it's possible for us to go maybe a little below it, kind of like this, get a nice bounce, and manage to trade a little bit sideways and close maybe around 700 flat, maybe a little lower. So my sentiment has moved more towards the bearish side, and I do see us kind of continuing this downside momentum because of this news that came out. That's huge, right? This is massive news, believe it or not, and it's heartbreaking. I mean, it's really sad. I obviously don't agree with the decision, if I'm going to be honest with you, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a change and a reaction, and we have to play the chart based off that. With that said and done, I want to thank you for listening. Please have a great, great, great rest of the day. Don't let news like this get into your head, because remember, Tesla has these gaps to the upside. Whoops, sorry about that. We have a gaps up here. Eventually, this thing will be back in the 800s. We have this gap at 854. We have gaps up in like 860s. We're going to push up again in the future. This is just an opportunity to buy more shares, to load up on long-term leaps if you want. Don't look at this as just bad. It's an opportunity for us, because you're buying into a company for cheaper, in my opinion, if we do get that downside. Like I said before, it's not the end of the world. Tesla's future is still incredibly bright. The short term will have some downside, but the long term is still insanely bullish. I see this thing going to thousands, and I have not lost faith. With that out of the way, I want to thank you for listening. I apologize if I still continue to cough. I do have a bit of a cold. I am improving though, so please, thank you for all of your concerns. Stay strong and never ever quit. Thank you and peace out.